Hey gang, here we are. This is my weekly haul. All of the comic books I brought home from my local comic book store for the week of November 12th, 2020. And as you can see, it wasn't that big of a haul. So we're also going to take a look at these dollar books. I took a pretty big dive into the dollar bin. And so the question is, if you don't see your favorite book here and you know it came out this past week, what dollar book did I decide I wanted more than your favorite book? Well, stick around. You'll find out. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke, and this is the weekly haul. The haul for November, 11th. I'm going to let you know what I bought, why I bought it, and again, we're going to talk about these dollar books because this wasn't really enough to get to my weekly budget, and so I decided to do a little dollar bin diving. And I can't really think of anything that I passed on this week other than, what is her name? Punchline. Punchline number 1 came out. And all of these books were on my pull list, but occasionally there are books that I choose not to put on my pull list. I'll check them out when they come out. Punchline, I was like, discount Harley Quinn. $1 more than, the usual book. I don't think I'm going to put that on my pull list. I'll look at it when it comes out. And I did. I went over to the new release stand, picked it up, thumbed through it. I was like, $4 for that, or in the dollar bin, I can get 4 of these. And as you can see, I ended up getting quite a few things. So I did pass on Punchline. So, in the comments below, please do let me know. Did you buy Punchline? What did you think of it? If my store still has copies, would you recommend I go back and get one right now? Was it that good? Or did it suck balls? Did I make the right decision? Hey, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, do all of the groovy things. I am trying to grow this channel. I'm at about 32 subscribers right now. I don't think I'll ever get to 1,000, but hey, a couple hundred would be cool. So please do that. Even if you don't like this video, hey, give it a thumbs down then. Leave a nasty comment. Do something so that the algorithm sort of gets hip to the existence of this channel. So let's look at what I did buy. Bill and Ted Are Doomed. I bought it because it had Evan Dorkin's name attached, even though he's not drawing. This has been pretty good. This has been fun. Did you see the Bill and Ted movie? I have not yet. I don't know what kind of model the movie industry is going to use going forward, but what it's got going right now does not work for me. I am not paying $20 to rent a movie. There's just no way in 100 hells that's going to happen. In the great infinite expanse of the multiverse, there is not one single Earth where I'm going to pay $20 to rent a single movie. And I'm not going to pay $24, $25 to quote-unquote own a movie. To my way of thinking, unless you've got the physical media, you don't own it. You're still just renting it. It can be taken away, lost, or changed at any time. The cloud is just somebody else's computer. But be that as it may, that's Bill and Ted. So that's 3 of, I think that's going to be 4. And it's been pretty good so far. Hawkman. This has been my favorite book from DC. As you can see, it's the final issue. That makes me very, very sad. I really feel like that DC should have put some marketing, some promotion behind this book. And maybe the problem is that there just weren't enough fans screaming about it on the YouTube, because YouTube is kind of, what gains traction is people saying how bad things are and how much things suck and how the industry is dying, Videos of people praising stuff doesn't seem to really make many ripples in the social media pond, as it were, which is too bad. Maybe if more people had been cheering about this book, it would still be around. Because every reviewer that I know that reviews comic books on YouTube, they've all praised this book, and I liked it. And it's been kind of an exception to the rule. You will often hear me complaining about paying, for a comic book that reads in, 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, 10 minutes. And these issues by Robert Venditti And here towards the end of the run, Passerin, I forget his first name, Fernando Passerin, they've been great, but they've read in literally like 6 or 7 minutes. And as you can see, it's not a lot of panels per page. The coloring is too dark. That is my chief complaint about comic books these days. The coloring is too dark and murky. But the artwork has been great. And the storyline was just fantastic. I don't want to give it away because I'd really like, it's only 29 issues. Go out and see if you can put that run together. Or, the trades, if they do some trades, buy that. But anyway, I really enjoyed this book. I'm sorry to see it go, and I hope Robert Venditti lands somewhere good. I'd kind of like to see him on the Superman books. Speaking of Superman, here's kind of a Superman pastiche, Penultiman, from Ahoy Comics. This is issue 2. This I bought because Tom Peyer is writing. And as you may know, I'm a big Legion of Superheroes fan. And Tom was pretty instrumental in the 90s reboot era of the Legion, which I enjoyed, at least the first few years of it. And so there's that. That's why I bought that. Basically out of loyalty to him. I'll have to read it and do a review, and we'll see if we agree. Strange Academy, I have enjoyed this book. This is a Marvel book. It's basically, Marvel's version of Harry Potter. All the young magic users at a school for magic users. Not much Doctor Strange in Strange Academy, but that's okay. This has been a good book. In fact, it is one of only 2 books, ongoing titles, that I'm currently buying from Marvel that I have on my pull list. And that is Strange Academy and Daredevil are the 2 ongoings I am currently, subscribed to that are on my pull list. Let me know in the comments below, what Marvel books are you buying regularly? What do you have on your pull list? Are you buying any of the X books, the Spider books? Lord knows there are enough of them. So the odds are probably yes. And these are 2 reprints that came out as part of the King in Black event. I'm over events. I'm not buying 40 books to get a story where you need to buy every book in order to get that story. And it's probably going to be a disjointed piece of crap anyway. So I just, as a principle, as a general rule, I just don't buy into any events at all from Marvel or DC. So I didn't buy any of the King in Black books, but these True Believers, hey, for $1, absolutely. I buy every True Believer that I don't have the original of. Sometimes I buy it even if I just, I want to preserve the one I have in whatever condition I might have it in. So I have the reprint to reread. For $1, you can't go wrong. And I've asked before on this topic, and if you own a comic book store and you're watching this video, I hope you'll respond. What do you do with True Believers? Do you really ramp up on those? At my local store, really the only ones that they have are the ones that I order. They only order enough to go into pull list without any really for the shelves. But, for me, I would just order the hell out of these True Believers, and I would have them as an impulse buy up at the counter. I use them as promotional material, give them to kids coming into the store, getting into comics for the first time. What do you do in your store? Do you stock up on these True Believers or not? Anyway, this one is a reprint of Avengers 83 or 84. And if you watch my unboxing videos, we've held and talked about this book recently, the original, the Avengers 80, again, 3 or 4, I forget. We've seen that one a lot recently. I don't actually have the original. But the big deal here is it's kind of quote-unquote the first appearance of Valkyrie. It's not. It's a character that looks like Valkyrie and calls herself Valkyrie, but it's actually the Enchantress in disguise. The really real Valkyrie would first appear not long after this in Defenders number 4. And here we have Fantastic Four. And again, I'm a bad comic book fan because I don't remember the issue number. I want to say it's 51. Does it say here in the indicia? No, it's 52. And that's the first appearance of Black Panther. And I don't have that original, so certainly I want that. So there you go. Those are the new books I bought this week. Let's talk about the back issues. And these are all from the dollar bin. And here's sort of my theory on this. Like, I bought this 4-issue series. All of these books are like new. there are a little bit of a ding here, so maybe it's, a very fine plus. Oops, let me get it up there on the screen where you can see it a little better. So, do I want to buy one book for $4 that's going to read in 7, 8, 10 minutes? Or do I want these books from the 80s, 4 of them for $4, and each one is going to, take probably 20, 25, 30 minutes to read? I mean, look at the amount of words here. And granted, you don't want just words for the sake of words. You don't want just word salad. But compare these pages and the amount of story you're getting to these pages. You see the difference? And even though I praised Hawkman and Robert Venditti, as far as a reading value and an entertainment value, a bang for your buck, these are a much better value. And so that's why I end up these days only buying a few new books each week and really filling out my budget with dollar bin dives. And I guess I'm fortunate in the sense that .com Comics has some really good dollar bins. The only other thing I guess I would ask you about this is how do you pronounce that? I have always pronounced that Baldar the Brave, although it kind of says Balder. Like me, like at my age, I am balder than I used to be. And I've admitted to you in past videos that I was well into my 20s before I realized the leader of Apocalypse was not Dark Seed, that the she-devil with a sword, that I grew up calling her Red Sonja, not Sonya. How do you pronounce this? Do you say Balder or do you say Baldar? I have always pronounced that Baldar. But anyway, that's a 4-issue series from Walt Simonson, right when Thor was at the peak of its popularity. This is DNAgnts. This is a series by Mark Evanier. However he wants to pronounce his name is okay with me, I guess. And this is a one-shot, a 3D book. And it came with the 3D glasses. Now, I have no idea if these are the 3D glasses that originally came with the book. There's nothing on them that says so, or if this was just a pair of glasses that somebody just chucked in the bag. So I don't know. Looking through that, does it look 3D to you? But anyway, I have been trying to put together my DNAgnts run. I've got most of the issues now, and so I couldn't resist this 3D one-shot. Gargoyle. I don't know much about Gargoyle other than that he was a member of the Defenders late in the run of the original Defenders series. The art in this is just kind of I guess. But again, 4 books for $4, as opposed to one modern book for $1. Why not? They're all in, pretty much very fine or better condition. I'm going to give that a try. So probably what I'll do is I'll do a full run review there. Let you know what I ended up thinking of that. ROM, I have been trying to complete my run of ROM Space Knight. I only have a couple more issues to go. And this was the last annual that I needed. ROM was based on a toy in the mid-70s. The toy, frankly, was kind of lame. I loved and can't recommend to you enough the Micronauts, both the toy line and the comic book, written by Bill Mantlo. And Bill Mantlo also wrote the ROM series. But maybe because the toy was so lame, I never really got into the comic book. And that's partly because, the toy... it didn't translate well visually into the comics, I don't think. Here on the cover it's much better, but then it usually is inside. But like I said, only a couple more issues to go. What did you think of ROM? Did you like ROM Space Knight? Either when you were a kid, or have you got into it at all now, if you weren't around in the 70s and 80s? And this was just a random hole filler, the Unexpected 204. Right at that era when they upped the price from 40 to 50 cents and tried to convince you they were giving you 8 more pages of story to make up for that increase in price. And it wouldn't take too long, a few months before they cut right back to the regular number of story pages. This was a horror anthology. That looks like Grey Morrow. It's not. It's Don Newton. I was kind of way off there. So that was just a hole filler. And then finally, this last book, this was also kind of a hole filler for me. World's Finest Comics 309 from 1984. That Unexpected was from 1980, also 80-something, 80, just 80. So yeah, the World's Finest was always kind of an also ran to the regular Superman and Batman titles through the 60s and 70s, except for the Super Sons era. The Super Sons were Fabu. It kind of was a little better during its dollar comic run, but after the dollar comic run ended, it really became almost like a third or fourth tier title. I did not buy this book at the time. Oh, and it looks like it's got an insert here for this toy line. Flash Force 2000 Matchbox. Do you remember that toy line? Did you buy those toys at all? No, there's a little insert for you. But anyway, I was not buying World's Finest comics at this time, so when I can, I like to go in and fill in here and there the back issues. So anyway, that is it. That is everything that I bought this week. Hope you enjoyed that video. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts on anything that we talked about or that I showed you. If you have any recommendations of your own, anything you're buying, you know it came out this week, you don't see it here, let me know. You know, I have added books to my pull list just based on the recommendations of people who watch this channel, so I'm happy to do that. Always interested in, you know, trying out something that you think is great. So anyway, you know, I thank you for watching. I thank you. More Drew thanks you. And until the next video, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.